Have you ever been there, staring at your phone late at night, your body is screaming for sleep, but your brain is wide awake? Well, you're in the right place. We're going to dive into how managing one simple thing, the light you see in the evening, can totally change the game for your sleep.
Oh man, this scene is just so familiar, isn't it? You're propped up in bed, the room is dark, but your face is lit up by that little glowing rectangle. You know you should be sleeping, you want to be sleeping, but you just can't stop scrolling. It feels like such a harmless little habit, but it has a massive, massive impact.
And that's the crazy paradox, right? Your body feels like it's run a marathon. Your eyes are burning, but your brain is just buzzing with energy. You're completely tired, but you're also totally wired. And that feeling, it's not just in your head. It is a very real biological thing happening inside your body.
So let's give this a name, okay? Let's call it the midnight scrolling problem. It's this uniquely modern fight we have with ourselves, where our ancient biology that needs rest is at war with our modern brain that wants to stay plugged in.
You know, the craziest part is just how predictable this whole cycle is. At 10 p.m., you feel it. You're genuinely tired, you're ready for bed. But then you think, okay, I'll just check a few things on my phone. And boom, you look up and suddenly it's midnight. And now sleep is just gone. Your mind is running a million miles an hour, even though your body is just begging for a break.
So what on earth is actually going on here? Well, the answer is pretty simple, and it has everything to do with the kind of light our screens are blasting into our eyes. Think of this as your blue light wake-up call.
Here it is, the heart of the problem. That specific type of blue light coming from our phones, our tablets, our TVs, it's almost identical to the light from the bright midday sun. So when you're scrolling at 11 p.m., you are sending a powerful signal straight to your brain that says, hey, wake up, it's the middle of the day.
This all comes down to something called your circadian rhythm. You can just think of it as your body's master internal clock. It's been fine-tuned over thousands of years to follow a simple rule. Bright light means it's time to be alert, and darkness means it's time to rest. Our modern world is just constantly confusing that clock.
It's a really simple chain reaction. Check it out. First, your eyes see that blue light. Then, your brain gets tricked into thinking it's daytime. And when that happens, it slams the brakes on producing melatonin. That's the key hormone that basically tucks your body into bed. And you can't just power through this with willpower. It's pure biology.
And look, why does this matter so much, especially as we get a bit older? Because sleep isn't a luxury. It's foundational. It literally affects how you process your emotions, how your body deals with blood sugar, and it even helps keep your bones strong. Getting this right is absolutely crucial.
Okay, so we get the problem. But the good news, the really good news, is that the fix doesn't mean you have to throw your phone in a river. It's just about building a simple, effective evening toolkit.
I mean, just look at the difference here. On the left, that's a typical evening, right? Bright, cool, bluish lights everywhere. It's basically screaming daytime at your brain. But on the right, everything is dim, warm, kind of like a campfire. The message to your brain is completely different. It's a signal to wind down.
The key is to create what we can call a wind-down window. Here's a super practical way to do it. Around 7 p.m., switch your phone and computer over to their night mode settings. An hour later, if you're still looking at a screen, pop on some of those amber-tinted glasses. And then, at 9 p.m., 1 hour before you want to be asleep, it's technology sunset. All screens get turned face down for the night.
Yeah, those amber glasses, they can feel a little weird at first. And this quote just captures it perfectly. You feel kind of silly, but then something amazing happens. For the first time in forever, you don't feel that awful, wired but tired thing. You feel genuinely and naturally sleepy. Your body's actually ready for bed. So the main goal here was just to get better sleep. But what happened next was this incredible cascade of other benefits that just rippled out into every other part of the day. It was pretty surprising.
First thing I noticed, the brain fog was just gone. Thinking felt sharper, making decisions was easier. It was like a light switch flipped on in my head.
And then came the emotional stuff. Honestly, just having more patience. Little things didn't set me off as easily. My whole mood felt more stable. It was a huge change. The changes weren't just in my head either. Those annoying tension headaches that would creep in late in the afternoon, they started to just fade away. The constant eye strain was gone too.
So let's just recap all these amazing, unexpected wins. We're talking clearer thinking, A better mood, fewer headaches, even my skin started looking better, because real sleep is when your body does all its repair work. And maybe the biggest win of all, it just created a much healthier, less stressful relationship with technology.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually make this a reality in your own busy life? Let's break down exactly how you can get started.
You really don't have to do it all at once. Please start small, like right now, tonight. Just turn on the night shift on your phone. That's it. Maybe tomorrow you swap out one light bulb by your bed for a warm one. The goal is to just take one tiny step.
And you've got to remember this. Some nights are going to be messy. Life happens. That is totally okay. This is not about being perfect or feeling guilty. It's just about understanding how this stuff works and making slow, steady progress that actually fits into your real life.
Okay, and we have to be really clear about this. This is super important. While these tips are fantastic for sleep issues tied to our lifestyle, they are absolutely not a replacement for professional medical care. If you are dealing with really persistent insomnia or you're just exhausted all day, please talk to a doctor.
When you really think about it, this whole approach is about teamwork. Your body is hardwired to get good, deep rest. It wants to sleep well. By managing your evening light, you stop fighting a war against your own biology, and you start working with it. You're just getting the obstacles out of the way.
You know, we always think we need these huge, complicated solutions to our problems. But when it comes to sleep, what if the biggest first step you can take is already in your hand, or in that lamp right next to your bed? What if it really is as simple as changing a light bulb?